Nothing.
Yeah, that's good, eh?
Someone's had a phone up ringing me, except if you're bad for Richmond. Yeah, that's just a bit tricky, does it? Pardon? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I said to Russell, yes, it's good.
Snake. Middle of the room, grab one end and sink in the gun. Just let his head go. That's a lot.
We tried to go to and I ran out an Aboriginal person into it because, you know, there's different tabs on it. And I did my best to be able to get someone to take some from Lumberton.
Did you go right up to the top?
Signet Bay. It's amazing the tides up there.
Did you have a place there?
We did it with
Signet Bay.
yeah, we did, but we were with a mini tour. But we had already been there, but we wanted a tour and it was part of the tour to go there as well. So, because it was, we went to Horizontal Falls, and that was already on itinerary, so
did the whole flew you back. Just sat and sing it. You went to the coast. Made your food on the around and did demo. And they drove you back. Barbecue sort of thing where you went to the little ships and took you out to the
No, I think they just had a little craft shop, like one or two tiny things, and that was it. You know, they had a church.
Got a bakery, like, he did bread.
Bakery, oh, that's right.
Three
They
times a week.
did bread.
We missed out on the bread, we don't get a bit of a loaf of bread, but we missed out. But David's made the is that an old church they tell them that's still standing? Made out of branches.
I think it was like 20 k's or something. And you needed a four-wheel drive, and I mean, you could have organised permission, but you needed a four-wheel drive. And Cape Quebec was also offering to close it down, something to do with the atmosphere. So it was closed for the time being for anyone to go in. Yeah.
Main road now, isn't it? Main road? Yeah, that's right. Good road too.
Well, we thought of you all when we saw, that little thing. So I remember that you went up there today.
Even on the main road, you went past and see straight away. It was sloppy and wet.
Good morning, everyone. We thought we'd start off with something a bit gentle and quiet. Good morning to all those on the live stream. Please feel comfortable in the fact that you are with us as much as if you were sitting physically with us, so a big welcome too. I mean, it's not a bad start, is it? You've got a bloke with a big bushy beard, old school tattoos and a dirty big python hanging around his neck. Very, very cool. We gather today to mourn the passing of David Haywood. We gather to say our final farewells. And we gather to pay tribute to Dave's life of 75 years. Now, without a doubt, today is a sad day for all of you gathered here, but especially Kerry and Julia and Lisa, and the entire extended family. That phone call to advise of David's passing would have been a shock beyond belief. But today will not be all about the sadness of David's passing. Surely it is about the man that he is. Not going to say was, that he is. I mean, you've got half a ton of rock on his coffin over there, so he doesn't get out. That wasn't me. Kerry and Lisa, who was on the phone, and Julia the other day. And Kerry said, you didn't meet Dave without being impacted by this man. She also said that he was a man in a million. Although the girls did say that he was a work in progress. He was still growing up, the world's oldest teenager. Now, each of you here know this man. So you would not utter these words, you will know. You will know. He was a straight shooter. He was honest. He was reliable. He was kind and he was funny. He had a joke for every occasion. He had a weird sense of humour, and one time there he said, Jules, you know those kids of yours? Now if we packed up and moved away while they were at school, people would understand. There was a time when Kerry and Dave were living somewhere with a bit of a hill out the back of the house. And Dave, as was his way, I've learnt, he headed off. Bye, darling. See you later. And they were talking on the phone, and Kerry said, Dave, I don't remember where you said you were going. So Dave said, walk out to the front door, open it up, and look up at the hill. Yeah, I've done that. Now start waving. Wave Hill was where he was, and that was his way. That was part of his sense of humour. He was never judgmental, but there was a certain aspect to David's life that when it came to playing bridge, I think he was about to write a book on how often Kerry was wrong. All the time. All the time. Yep, he drank too much. Yep, he smoked too much. Everything to excess. He was proud of his farts and the size of his poo. Hey? I hope there are none of you here ladies that are offended. No, he wasn't. He wasn't. You know this man. And while we're smiling at the passage of David's life, and smile we should, because it's a time when the smiles come between the tears. It's important, I believe, to acknowledge that even though Dave had a difficult early childhood, it didn't stop him achieving great things, and especially, ladies and gentlemen, great happiness and great love. Kerry and Julia and Lisa all looked at each other and said, I don't know who remembered it, but said that Dad had said, make sure you tell people what a good bloke I was. Well, we're telling him today. And Kerry and Julia and Lisa and Brooke and the 20 grandchildren and the great-grandies, over 45 people. 45 people, and I think that is just wondrous. David gave his huge, generous heart. He opened up that huge, generous heart to accept all people who he invited into his world. And each of you here today are part of that world. So together, ladies and gentlemen, we will celebrate David's life with a smile, well, as much as possible. As much as possible, because we've lost such a man. We will remember our many wondrous memories of Dave. And we will say, thank you, David, for allowing us to be part of you. Now, Dan, you're going to come up and share a reading with us, please.
Thanks, Peter. Just before I get into the reading, I guess most of you all remember Dave as a collector. He collected many things throughout his life, some of what I'm aware of are stamps, rocks, and so on. But the greatest collection Dave could have wished for, and he's probably not aware of, is his collection of friends from far and wide. Everywhere Dave went, he left a trail of new friends. And that's where I fit in. I'm Dan O'Connell, and I've only known Dave for a couple of years. But all those fishing trips out on the lakes left me with a feeling I've known Dave all my life. And on that note, Kerry asked if I would do a reading. As we look back over time, we find ourselves wondering, did we remember to thank you enough for all you have done for us? For all the times you were by our sides to help and support us, to celebrate our successes, to understand our problems and accept our defeats, or for teaching us, by your example, the value of hard work, good judgment, courage and integrity. We wonder if we ever thank you for the sacrifices you made to let us have the very best, and for all the simple things like laughter, smiles and times shared. If we have forgotten to show our gratitude for these things you did, we're thanking you now, and we're hoping you all knew all along how much you meant to us. Dave, I'm waiting with the baited rods and for our next fishing trip in paradise. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please.
Now, I'm going to begin the tributes to David. We've got the girls coming up a bit later on. Dave was born on the 30th of December 1949 in Ballarat. When he was 3 weeks old, he was left at the Berry Street Children's Home. And he was adopted when he was 3 by Bon and Fred Haywood. And Bon and Fred and David lived at 4 Pope Road, Blackburn. And he went to school at Blackburn Primary. I also went to school at Blackburn Primary, but David's an older man, so I didn't run into it. And the Blackie Secondary after primary. He did his matriculation for us older folks and began work at the Titles Office in Melbourne. And after a traumatic event in his early life, he hitchhiked across to Western Australia. Now that's not a bad effort, is it? Just imagine trying to hitchhike from Bairnsdale now. He did that. He was 18 years old. And he must have worn himself to bits because he was 8 stone wringing wet, I've been told. He travelled around Western Australia for 4 years and came back to Victoria and married Louisa Rawley. How's that, Louisa? Is that okay? Good, 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 good. In 1974. Dave, being the bloke he was, I mean, his music for our tribute today sort of suggests that he was fairly raucous with some of his music. He did Sunbury, and we worked out Sunbury 73. And I reckon I was the bloke who was just below the big pylon at the left of the stage when Dave was shy. But he did Sunbury, we both did Sunbury. He was still living in Blackburn and then out to Bell Street in Seville. And Julia, you came along in 1980. Lisa, 1983. Dave was working at the CES. For younger folk, the CES is where we used to go for employment opportunities. He was there for 20 odd years, but he also had a side business in scrap metal. Louisa and David sadly separated in 1986, and while working at the CES, David and Kerry began a relationship in 1988. And that was when you were both working at the CES in Lilydale, Kerry. They moved in together and were married in 1990, which is 35 years this year, but it's 37 years, isn't it? Because you had a couple of years prior to marriage. It's a long time. They were living in Seville, and in 2000 moved up to Wangaratta, the day before Dave's birthday. And he was still into his scrap metal business. Dan mentioned about his collecting. Well, and I've got to add to this, Dan. One of Dave's major life hobbies was collecting stuff, with the philosophy, he who dies with the most stuff wins. The George V stamps, rabbit traps, anything cast iron, furniture, books, tubs and tubs of books, and then, yep, rocks. A container and a half, or someone said 2 containers, full of rocks. Well, he did go fossicking. He loved fishing. And then they moved up to Harvey Bay. Moved from Wang to Harvey Bay. Dave had a heart attack in 2002. He was only 52 years old. I worked very hard for this heart attack, he'd say. 60 smokes a day, a wee drink or 6, which resulted in a triple bypass. Well, he eventually gave up the smokes. We didn't mention about his wee drink. He got time off for good behaviour. And the couple were up at Harvey Bay and enjoying bridge. Well, they probably enjoyed, no, he wouldn't have enjoyed bridge, you would have. Because remember I said that Kerry didn't ever get anything right with bridge. They returned. Well, bridge, fishing and the weather were all the attractions for Harvey Bay. All 3 failed. And they returned to Victoria after 4 years and landed in Bairnsdale, 2016. Have I mentioned that Dave had a very large interest in rocks? It was developing all through this time. And after travelling with various people and on his own for 20 odd years, Terry decided that there may have been a need for a DNA test, such was his wandering ways. And a DNA test revealed that Dave is connected to the nomads in Egypt. Every year, Dave would go looking for rocks. It was all about the rocks. But it was very, very sadly that it was David's last trip that his big, generous heart decided to stop suddenly. Yep, he was on his annual adventure and died a very happy and a very loved man. We wish you peace and contentment, Dave. Now, Julia and Lisa, you going to come up together? Come up and share with us. Come on.
Yeah, thank you everyone for coming today. Dad, and everyone streaming at home, Dad would have been pretty stoked to have everyone come. Dad never did anything by halves, and this month is no exception. Your passion for adventure and appreciation for nature was inspiring. Tens of thousands of kilometres travelling, sleeping beside your car, in your swag, on your stretcher, just loving being on another trip, seeing picturesque places, roads less travelled, and of course, fossicking for your extra special precious rocks. You made sure you were never mistaken for a tourist. You tell people, I'm not a tourist, I'm a traveller. They are very different. Fishing was my favourite thing to do, we did together. Catching fish that we thought only other people caught. And other times catching nothing. It was just good to be out spending time together, having a go, having a chat, and listening to his stories, his younger days, working in the CES, and telling his tales about the many interesting people that he'd met over the years, the travel stories, and always had a story to tell. Though I admit, I may have tuned out to a few of the rock stories. Sorry about that. I'm going to miss our D&Ms, our chats, trying to solve our mental health problems, comparing them to the rest of the dysfunctionals in the world, and discussing the best ways to live in the moment, ways to be happy and to appreciate the simple things. I knew I could talk to you about anything, knowing that you would listen without judgment and give a gentle and fair advice, sometimes based on your own experiences. Thank you, Dad, for some of the most memorable experiences we shared, and a few lessons and a few to learn from, and so many unforgettable memories that are special to me. I'm going to share a few of those memories now. Our first trip to Middle Lagoon, I'd made a fish curry for dinner out of mac tuna which we caught. It's not a real great eating fish because it's a bit oily. I'll kind of give you an idea of what's going to happen next. So the next day, Dad decided he'd have some for breakfast. And it wasn't too long before it hit him like a freight train and I hear him go, oh no, oh no. I think I followed through. And then he was off. And I was sitting in my chair as he wiggled past to the toilet block and I was laughing and I said, yep, you did. I can see it. I'll be there soon with your toiletries and a towel. We never kept another mac tuna. And another took it older, so another time we're checking into the motel and the lady asked, would you like a twin or a double? And I paused and I worked out what she meant and I quickly replied and said, he's my dad, a twin. And Dad started laughing, he thought it was hilarious. And the lady apologised and said, I'm sorry, you just don't know nowadays. It kept happening in similar situations over the years and it became an ongoing joke. So there was a time when we were in Catherine in a caravan park, we were at the camp kitchen, we met an older bloke called Bill and his younger lady friend. We got chatting and it turned out that the younger girl was Bill's girlfriend. Dad says to me later, he goes, well, it was close. I nearly put my foot in it. I said, well, what do you mean, what'd you do? He goes, well, I nearly said to Bill, it's nice to see another father and daughter travelling together. Nice save, Dad, that would have been awesome. My dad had some pretty special talents. When he couldn't find something, we all knew about it, and we'd play the game of, where's my wallet? Where's my keys? Where's my sunglasses? And then that game expanded years later to, where's my glasses? Where's my teeth? Where's my phone? And someone stole my hat. You're all thieves, he'd say. Dad, we had our ups and downs over the years, but we built on our differences and we never gave up. I thank you for all those good times we spent together and for just being my father. For now, catch you later. And I'll always be thinking of you, especially when I've got a fishing rod in my hand. And I love you forever.
I'm glad school, so I don't have to do this, right? The whole way. My dad was an enormous presence in my life and my trusted friend. Dad and I never stopped growing together, our friendship more than just father and daughter. Dad has been a consistent presence in my life, my children's lives and my grandchildren's lives. Christmas, birthdays, phone calls, and the like. He'd say to me, Julia, what's wrong with your effing kids? Why are they so rude? I'm like, because they're kids, Dad, and because they love you. And that's why they're so rude. And if they're rude at 20, then I failed. He goes, oh, so what you're saying to me is I have to be nice to them? Yes. He goes, no. But that was my dad. I thought of all of us kids. Dad didn't always get it right, but he wasn't perfect. But where it counted, he was pretty close. Dad gave me shit money can't buy. Dad could keep a secret, try to understand, honestly tell you, make you laugh, totally outrageous, full of interesting knowledge, and a story for every occasion, even bedtime, bloody food. Dad was there when I was born. He played Dave at my kinder play, the Aussie 12 Days of Christmas. My first day of school, my children's births, my grandchildren's births. Walked me down that aisle on my wedding day, whispering to each other about something funny and totally not on topic of marriage. Every breakup, every low in my life, Dad was there. We didn't always agree, but we made sure we sorted it out immediately. We loved each other more than we needed to be right. Day trips to look for rocks, fishing trips, and a trip together at the top of Australia was filled with conversation and smiles. I found that rock, it's mine, where's my keys, where's my wallet, where's my phone? Yeah. Dad, you are my dad and more, thank you. A true, honest friend. I'll be seeing you in all the old familiar places. Love you, Dad. Thanks for everything.
I hope the old man's standing somewhere quietly listening to you two girls.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I think it's brilliant. Now, time for photos. Enough of talking for a bit. Time for photos. Thank you, Kel.
Hey, g'day. way up high, and the dreams that you dream of once in a lullaby. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Dreams that you dream of, dreams really do come true. Ooh, someday you wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dare to, oh why can't I? Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like a lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the dreams that you dare to, why, oh why can't I?
It's not every day.
A bloke like me can rescue an eagle from up a gum tree.
When the sun beats down, melts the tar on the roof, yeah. And his shoes get so hot, you wish your tired feet were fireproof. Under the boardwalk, down by the sea, yeah. On a blanket with my baby, that's where I'll be. Under the boardwalk, and we'll be out in the sun. Under the boardwalk. that's where I'll be. La, 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 la.
Sun's shining, life is cool. Catch us later.
Lisa put that together, ladies and gentlemen, just magic. Hey, where were you when the two big tank fairlanes were in the background? A few years ago, your kids would have only been little kids. Could have even been pre.
Wasn't older, mate, I'm not sure.
Oh, come on. More memories to be had, ladies and gentlemen, when our time saying farewell to David is at an end. If you're able to, family would love you all to make your way across to the Bairnsdale RSL and spend some time. Yeah, spend some time just telling sharing memories. There's going to be some beauties, there's going to be some rippers, but we've got some ripper tributes coming. Kelly, where are you? Where are you? Come on up, please.
Thank you for bearing with me as I try to get through some words about our beloved Dave today. Dave was known for his kindness, his wicked sense of humour, intelligence and generosity. He made friends wherever he went, and losing him has left a huge hole in all our hearts. Dave was a character like no other, so much so that I've seriously wondered over the years if some of the most iconic characters in Australian television history have been written by someone who somehow met Dave along the way. He always had a side hustle, and as we all know, that never stopped. I will never forget in 1997 when the Aussie movie The Castle hit the screens, and how the dad and son would find obscure things in the trading post. It's exactly what Dave used to do. He would walk in and out of the lounge room telling us the funniest shit people were trying to sell, and he literally knew the true value of every little thing you can imagine. Then there's that unforgettable moment in the castle where the Kerrigans are fighting for their home and the lawyer stands up in court and says, "It's the vibe." That scene took me straight back to the day Dave stood up in court for one of the kids. He was seriously shaking in his shoes, but still he spoke with such heart and clarity. And in true Dave fashion, he had the whole courtroom laughing. Not because he was trying to be funny, but because he was just being himself. It was classic Dave. Nervous but brave, eloquent but real, and always ready to go to bat for the people he loved. That moment was just one of many that showed how deeply he cared and how effortlessly he could turn even the most serious setting into something unforgettable. In 2019, I took my daughter to see the movie Ride Like a Girl, which was about Michelle Payne, the first female jockey to win the Melbourne Cup. I was sitting in the cinema and there's a scene where the dad in that movie brings home an old ambulance to use as the family car, and the whole family were mortified. Dave did exactly that. Back in the 90s, he rocked up home with you guessed it, an old bloody ambulance. My God, that thing was as ugly as sin, but Dave loved it. Yes. I was sitting in the movies and thinking, it's uncanny. It's as if the writers of some of our favourite films had met Dave once. They couldn't forget him and keep sneaking pieces of him into their scripts. Because characters like that don't just happen, they're inspired. And Dave is the kind of person who leaves inspiration in his wake. Although Dave was never formally diagnosed with ADHD, it would come as no surprise to those who knew him that he was absolutely somewhere on his own spectrum. He never sat still. He was a genius with a beautiful mind. A man who was well read and the sort of man that would pick a snake up off the road and put it safely back in the bush to protect it, as we all saw. He was a man of the land and he made friends all over Australia, stopping to chat and giving his time to anyone and everyone. He was the biggest shit stirrer and thoroughly enjoyed getting a rise out of someone, but always with his incredible sense of humour. Dave also had a knack for bringing people together in the weirdest but funniest ways. Like the time he would bring home, as you've heard, mountains and mountains of unused envelopes and have all of us rip the stamps off the corners for a little extra cash. At times there were close to 10 of us living in the house, and that didn't include all the friends that came in and out on a daily basis. We called ourselves the Brady Bunch. And for so many of us, they were the happiest years of our lives, even when we were ripping stamps off thousands of envelopes. Dave's side hustles never ended. He went on to buy and sell scrap metal. He found old furphy tanks and restored them. He had the General. A beautiful old car that he restored, and of course, he finished with his love of rocks, which ironically is the legacy Dave is leaving for all of us. Dave was the rock in his family and his extended families across the country. He was solid, dependable, and unique. He had the rough exterior with his bushy beard and tats, but his true beauty was just below the surface. All you had to do was look a bit deeper, and that was something he saw in rocks. It astounded me how he could find beauty in things that the average person would walk past. Dave had the ability to see things others couldn't, and there was nothing in the world he'd love more than sharing every little thing with the love of his life, Kerry. There are so many things that we're all going to miss about Dave, and one of the things I know I'll never get used to is not hearing him in the background when on the phone talking to Kerry. Kerry called him Snoopy, and I called him Creeping Jesus. He would come out of nowhere and hijack our conversations, wanting to know all the goss and trying his best to get a rise out of us by doing something for shock value, always having us in stitches. I'm going to miss Dave calling Kerry 10 times in the space of half an hour whenever they were apart. Kerry was his North Star, and if he knew she was safe, she was happy and she was okay, then he would be okay. I'll miss seeing the love between Kerry and Dave and seeing the intense attraction and admiration they held for each other over decades and decades. Dave would often say to me, "Isn't she beautiful, Cal?" And Kerry would say, "How did I get such a gorgeous man? He's so handsome, my Dave." They were opposites in so many ways, but they made their love work, and I'm going to miss seeing that more than anything. A love like theirs is so rare and so inspirational, and I've always felt privileged to witness it. Everyone was Dave's mates, even if he thought someone was a dickhead. He was never rude or dismissive. God help you if you ever heard his kiss. That was a line he drew in the sand. He loved his girls more than anything in the world. Kerry, Jules and Lisa were his life. And over the years, that crew grew to include a huge cohort of stepkids, grandkids, great-grandkids, kids, partners, and the kids like me, who he took into his heart, his home and his family. I'll miss hearing his travel stories, his farts, and I'll even miss his burps. I know I'll probably forget some names here, but on behalf of myself, my kids, who adopted you as Grandpa Dave, and on behalf of Burnett, Melissa, Dwayne, Chris, and all our families, and on behalf of all the other teenagers, and everyone here today whose lives, both you and Kerry, changed forever, I just want to say thank you, Dave. You will always be in our hearts, in our stories, and the ways we live our lives. You will be deeply missed and forever remembered. Thank you.
We are certainly getting a beautiful picture of this bloke. A bit more yet. Jackson, please come up and share.
There's nothing we can say that will justify the person, husband, father, grandfather and great-grandfather that he was. With a heart of gold or rocks, we all cherished him as a person and as our grandfather above all. We have some memories we would like to share with you.
One of my favourite memories with Grandpa from Cade. One of my favourite memories with Grandpa was when he went to his friend's secret bosking spot to fox it and sift for interesting rocks. I really enjoyed spending time with him. I wish Grandpa and I got the chance to go camping with just him and I alone. We were both really looking forward to it. From me, Grandpa took Dad, Cade and me camping. We had loads of fun. We even saw a goanna on the way there. Later on that weekend, I squirted him with a water gun. He wasn't really impressed then. Neither was he impressed when him and I went fishing and I got his lure stuck in the tree. I miss you, Grandpa. I wish I could go fishing together again.
From Charlie. Over the past few years, we all would weekend adventure to Grandpa and Nan's house for the day, doing many things, from going to the park to having lunch at their house. Most of the time, we were looking at his rocks, cutting them up or organising them. My favourite thing to do was mess with him, telling him I stole some of his rocks. He hadn't noticed until I told Mum. He also thought I was joking. He certainly wasn't impressed. Grandpa, fuck you, because I want to mess around with you and annoy you by stealing more. During my childhood, Grandpa took Bonnie and I on a road trip down the Great Ocean Road. We had a blast. We done a treetop walk, went to the beach and just drove around. Both Bonnie and myself giving him hints along the way. It was an amazing experience, and as much as I wish we had more time with you to make more memories and even road trip again, I know it's not possible. So every single memory I have with you, I will cherish always. From myself, Jack Thorne once said, "Those we love never truly leave us. There are things that death cannot touch." Grandpa, part of me refuses to believe that you are gone. Although I know in my heart you are no longer with us, it still feels so surreal, like a nightmare you just want to wake up from. I only wish I got a chance to tell you how much you meant to me. Because you weren't just my grandpa, in a way, you were my best friend. Always giving me advice, making me laugh, and showing me what living truly is. You always offered a helping hand and were stoked if all you got in return was coffee and food. There are so many memories we have shared. We went fossing together on numerous occasions, always finding something special to take home. We went on a road trip to the coast of New South Wales to pick up a motorbike, and he even let me have the window down, which he did not like to do. I'd service his car when needed because we both had the same luck with mechanics and knew it would get done right. Recently, he gave me his Ingle car fridge he'd kept for 3 years not working, hoping I'd fix it, but somehow I think he doubted that I'd fix it. That day he gave it to me, I fixed it, and a month later I told him I'd fix it, knowing he'd want it back. He asked for a trade, so I got his King's one, and he got his Ingle back, which is still working perfectly. On my 21st birthday recently, there was a bottle of bourbon you and Nan brought me. The day you went missing, Mum and I drank 3/4 of that bottle. So I'm sure Nan won't be impressed, but there's a swig left in the bottle for you, Grandpa. I miss you deeply and will love you always. From Bonnie. Grandpa, no words can ever describe how much you mean to us, and will always mean. I'll never forget the time you took Carling Island, Great Ocean Road, where we stayed in that little house and ate 2-minute noodles all week. I was so scared of all the spiders in the kitchen, and you reassured us that they won't hurt you, they're scared of you. All the meats you have along the trip, making me open them up and hand you one every minute. I'll forever cherish all the wisdom and knowledge you share with me, the gifts and all the advice, even if I didn't want to hear it but needed to. You always had my back, no matter what happened in life. I'm so glad you got to meet little Henry. We'll forever cherish that moment for the rest of time. The last time I seen you will be my favourite memory. I walked up to you and farted in your face. You were so proud of me. I'll keep my promise and we'll drop one in Nan's face when the time comes. Love you forever and always. From Marley. Just before Grandpa left for his travels, Jack and I went to his house to service his car. Jack had the old, very black engine oil in the drain pan, not knowing what it was, thinking it looked very interesting. I put each individual finger into it. I then ran inside to wash my hands. He got upset and said, "Don't wash your hands in that bloody sink, you'll stain it." And then told me to go wash them outside under the tap, so I did. A little while later, he came back, apologised to me, and told me he loved me. I miss you, Grandpa. From Laura. I will always cherish everything he taught Jasper and myself. We have a lot of beautiful memories together, always us out, fishing as a little kid, him drinking BB, and us both catching barely anything. He always shared his amazing knowledge about rocks to me when I was young, and to Jasper since he could walk. To this day, I'm still amazed that you always remembered where each rock came from and the exact spot you left them in that home. We miss you dearly and will always remember you. We love you. From Nicola. Unfortunately, Nicola wasn't able to be here today, as she too is currently travelling this beautiful country of ours. A passion for adventure she is sure she inherited from our grandpa. Now, although the two of them had been distant as of recent, she will always cherish the time that they got together. She will forever miss hearing stories from all of his travels, his witty sense of humour, his bad jokes, and love him for who he was. And from all of us, good luck up there finding your teeth and the nappies we did in your car. Pull my finger, love you. I've done it. I've got one more. From Eleanor. I enjoyed all the after-school car ride time with Grandpa. We talk about many things, although everything he had to say was always interesting. We'd mostly talk about rocks. Once I stole a few of his rocks. He was upset but proud I picked the good ones that had value.
Well, there are 45 of you. They're brilliant memories all the same. Now, I mentioned earlier that some of David's musical tastes align with my own. And we softened things a bit for Lisa's beautiful photo presentation. But this one we're just going to sit and listen to, and we talked about Dave should have been part of, Kelly, part of all the beautiful classic Aussie films. This is a classic Aussie song from about 1965, I reckon, and it's an absolute beauty. We're just going to sit and listen to it. It's from a mob called the Loved Ones, Jerry Humphreys, who was at Sunbury in 73, and it's called The Loved One. Thank you, Kel. It's a beautiful song. Beautiful. may not be to everybody's taste, but certainly David and mine. Now we're going to take a bit of time, ladies and gentlemen, and soften the musical situation considerably. We were going to have a song, Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses, which is quiet and gentle too. But we decided to soften it considerably, and we're going to have Wind Beneath My Wings. Now look, we're quite a large group, so I think if we give the family, David's entire family, the opportunity to come forward to him and say a quiet goodbye, we're going to listen to Wind Beneath My Wings. Thank you, Cal. time to say our final farewell. We don't really have to say goodbye because he's going to be with each and every one of you. On a full moon. Walk outside and look at it. And wave. I was going to get to that. Terry's just stolen me from that. Anytime you see it, he'll stop the car and wave at it. And that's where Dave is. It is. And he stays with you. I want to find out who's going to be the rock person. Hey?
Kay, where are you, Kay?
Okay? Yep. It's just how it works. The rock man. Beautiful. And Grandpa's hat. Well done, young man. That's beautiful. You guard those rocks. You might be out fossicking by yourself soon. Another 4 or 5 years. Nothing more to say. I thank you all for being here this morning. He is a wondrous fella. He is a true blue Aussie, and I know that's cliche, but he is. He is. He is a role model. He is a mentor. He is a lover. He is a husband. You found each other. You found each other. And I want to share with you the serenity prayer, ladies and gentlemen. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardships as the pathway to peace, taking as he did this sinful world as it is, not as I would have it, trusting that he will make things all right if I surrender to his will, that I may be reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy with him forever in the next. Amen. Let us now commit David's body for cremation. And in doing so, we acknowledge that we come into this world with nothing and we depart with nothing. However, the wonder of our time on this earth is that we leave behind warm, enduring memories to mark our years and to sustain those left behind. For those of you who, like David, may memories be your comfort. And for those of you who loved him, may you hold a sacred place in your hearts and a knowing smile on your lips. Rest peacefully, Dave. Rest peacefully. Hope there's rocks in heaven. And our final song as we take David from this place, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit of smoothness, but a bit of rock. That's Domino and Blueberry Hill. Thank you all so much for being here this morning to honour the entire Haywood family. Thanks very much.
Oh,
flowy, you girls.
Lift to your waist. Straight onto the middle of that roll bar.
Right, honey? Yep. Where'd he go today? Yeah. Oh, hopefully she was well with that. Oh, yeah. Hopefully she was well with Yeah, I couldn't have had two. I did lots You're on it? How you doing?
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you, though. Thank you. Oh, that's cool. People like that. Love that. Yeah.